Jake and Jenny, getting close.
I went into that today knowing that I had to win immunity. Now it doesn't matter. Because I know what's really important. It's about love. It's about your family.
There was an emotional family reunion last night on Survivor Thailand, but the good feelings didn't last long for Big Jake, who got ganged up at Tribal Council last night. Welcome back to The Early Show. I'm Julie Chen, along with Jake Billingsley. Was it simply because you were the last surviving member of the other tribe that you got voted out, you think?
Oh, I'm certain of that. Absolutely, totally certain of that.
It wasn't because you were a major threat?
Well, I'd like to think that, but I think it was just because I was the last remaining soup job person there. I think if it had the roles been reversed, I'd have done the same thing to them.
That's very fair of you to say. We've got a lot more questions for you, Jake. And later on, for the first time, you guys at home can ask questions too. Just call our toll-free number, 1-800-377-1718. That's 1-800-377-1718. And you may get to ask Jake the burning questions you've been dying to ask. But first, let's head over to Harry, Hannah, and Renee.
I'm thinking about calling in myself.
Hey, Jake! Question.
Good job on the show, Jake. Thanks, Julie.
Up next, more from ex-survivor Jake Billingsley, and your phone-in questions, too, when the early show comes right back. So living things together around you, people notice you, they... Though he proved himself to be a resourceful player last night on Survivor Thailand, Big Jake Billingsley just couldn't break the bond that held the rest of his tribe together.
I can see the endings inside. We've got an immunity challenge, and I need it.
Big Jake!
There's 5 people from the other tribe and 1 person from my tribe, and that's pretty strong cards stacked against you.
It's time for you to go. Thanks, guys. Good luck to all of you.
Jake Billingsley, good morning. Along with you, I want to introduce again to the viewers your wife, Jenny. She's here for a very good reason. I think in the 31 days you spent there, she roughed it out more in last night's episode alone, and we're going to ask you for that in just a minute. But Jake, I want to go back to the beginning because you were the captain of your tribe. You got to pick your tribe mates. You picked the very young, energetic, strong, looking tribe members. It looked like you guys were going to have the edge. There's none of you left now in Thailand. Did you choose correctly?
Well, if I had to do it again, I'd choose exactly the same way. I absolutely love the people that I chose and had on my team. I don't know why we lost particularly. I mean, we did a lot of things right, and I guess we did a few things wrong, but
yeah,
you win some, you lose some.
Once your tribe merged with Chuigan, what was that like? Did you try and win anyone over?
Oh, absolutely. Our goal then was for everybody to go out into the Chuigan tribe and try to win one person as a friend, somebody that we might be able to bring over into our tribe.
Not successful, though. What was the
We were totally unsuccessful.
Why? What was the toughest obstacle there?
It's really difficult because they had 18 days together before we got there. And, I mean, this is 18 days of total competition. And then you get there, and you're trying to win these people over, and everything's going pretty nicely, and you're making friends and all this. And then, all of a sudden, you're competing again against them. So I think that probably hurt us a little bit because we're still 2 separate tribes living in one cave.
And that was very apparent last night when Clay was not happy with you when you were talking about your contributions to this new formed tribe. Let's look at a clip from last night's show.
Sure.
But we thought you were a bigger person than that. We didn't think you'd just stand up and slap all 5 of us right square in the face. Just slap all 5 of us right square in the face. The hell you did?
No, what I said was, at the last tribal council...
I'm going to test y'all to see if y'all are saying what y'all done, that the people at work get to stay on the tribe.
At that time, you thought all his tribe mates were kind of agreeing with it. But you were wrong, weren't you?
Well, I'm not sure I was wrong. When he had that outburst, I laughed. I mean, I looked like I was kind of sad, but I laughed. I said, boy, I've got him now, you know. He's got this terrible outburst, and it's going to come back to haunt him.
Highlight of the show last night was the bug eating. Jenny, what did that water bug taste like?
Oh my gosh. I tell you what I said to myself. These are Fritos, these are potato chips, these are Fritos, these are potato chips. That's the only way I could possibly do this. It was incredible. I can't remember what any of that stuff tastes like.
You don't remember which one was the worst? I mean, the guts.
The water bug was the worst.
The guts that came out when everyone bit into it. Jake, how come you didn't say, Jenny, I love you, you don't have to do it? You saw she was in pain.
I did say that.
Oh, you did?
I did. I
That
absolutely
was my question.
said.
So, Jenny, why did you continue?
I was determined I was going to be able to spend the night with Jake. So I'm not sure if it was me up there doing that because I hate bugs, but I was pretty determined, and I felt really strong about getting up there and doing that. And I was going to eat everything they put in front of me that I could.
Would you have done the same for her?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
No question
He would
about
have.
it.
No.
Jake and Jenny, stick around because we are going to have more questions for you in just a moment when we continue here on the Early Show, including your live phone calls when the Early Show comes right back. It's time for our Survivor Scorecard, a weekly check of who is still in the hunt for the $1 million prize. Tribal alliances held strong last night when the 5 remaining members of the original Chewigan tribe, Clay, Jan, Ted, Helen, and Brian, sent Sukjai's last member, Jake, to the jury. Jake, welcome back. And to you, Jenny, we've got our first caller on the line. Chris, go ahead. What's your question for Jake?
Jake, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm just wondering, since Jeff had you and Jan pick your respective teams, is there one person, in hindsight, that you regret choosing?
On my team?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
What about least favorite?
I was absolutely certain that the team that I chose was the perfect team. We call them the dream team. I loved them. I still love them.
Okay. Thanks for calling in. Donna's also on the line. Donna, go ahead for your question.
Good morning, Jake. My question for you is, why didn't you expose Clay as being the true conspirator behind the votes against Ted from the first tribal council after the tribes merged?
Yes, I know the incident you're talking about, and I've asked myself that question a number of times. I think that would have been a very smart thing to do, looking back on it in hindsight. But my hindsight's always been better than my foresight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Let's go to our next caller on the line. Kim?
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Go ahead for Jake.
Jake, I was wondering if you hadn't been voted off last night, do you think your former tribe, Sukjai, would have thought you had formed an alliance with Chewigan before they were voted off?
No. I think my former tribe would have stayed with me through thick and thin all the way through the deal.
Penny didn't. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, she really didn't, did she?
Okay, so let's go back to question number 1. If there's anyone you regret picking on your tribe.
Oh, no, I don't regret picking Penny.
No.
I mean, Penny was in a position where what she needed to do to win the game was to do something. And, I mean, I won't tell you it didn't hurt my feelings, because it did hurt my feelings that she voted me out. But, you know...
She did say you guys agreed, we're going to go our separate ways, though, before.
Yeah, we really had kind of an agreement that was we weren't going to help one another. I didn't really... Communications is always a problem. I didn't really mean for her to snuff my flame out. But, in the whole history of the world, I'm not the first guy that's been snuffed out by a beautiful girl.
Jenny, you have something to tell us? Let's go to our next caller on the line. Elaine, go ahead for your question for Jake.
Hi, Jake. First, I want to say congratulations on a great job.
Thank you, Elaine.
I'd like to know, why did you vote for Jan in the last 2 tribal councils? What was your strategy?
Okay, in the first, there were 2 reasons. First, when I talked to Jan, I asked her the question, what's important to you, Jan? And what was important to Jan was that she got on the jury. She never said she wanted to win. She just said, it's important to me that I get on the jury. Well, she was on the jury. That wasn't the main reason I voted for her, though, because Penny came up to me before the tribal council where she voted against me and said, Jake, we're going to vote for Jan tonight.
Jake and Jenny Billingsley, thank you so much. Nice job on the show.
Thank you. Enjoyed it immensely. It was a wonderful experience.
It showed. And we're back after this.